I got 5 on it. Grab your 40, let's get keyed. I got 5 on it. God, such a banger. Hello, spooky friends. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. We're your horror besties, here to dissect our favorite and not so favorite horror movies, breaking down the screams, the scares, and everything sinister scene by scene. I'm Emma, and joining me as always is the not tethered version of Allie.
Honestly, though, can we confirm that?
You did ask me before the podcast. Allie was concerned that her tethered self has actually been living her life.
You guys, I'm not sure which, I'm surfaced right now. So I'm not sure. I just can't say with certainty which one it is.
She cannot confirm.
Or deny.
But anyways, Allison, what the hell have we been up to?
What the hell have we been up to? Well, if you're listening to this, we will have just been to Midsummer Scream, and it was amazing. And we probably went to Islands, and we lived deliciously.
Oh, wow.
We lived deliciously.
We absolutely did.
And that's what we've been up to. But today we're talking about something else. Today we're talking about a movie that I had never seen before, and that is 2019's Us.
Such a great film, man. Whew.
So I had never seen it before, and that's kind of crazy because of how prolific Jordan Peele has become. So all I can say is, as somebody who sees signs everywhere, believes in signs, and has a twin, I'm fucked.
I know we haven't gotten into whether this has scared you yet, but I knew you watching this, it would have an effect on you because of those exact reasons.
If you don't know me, I am so into sign. I mean, a lot of people are, but I see them everywhere, and I've truly taken to heart. So not knowing much about this movie and going to sit down to watch it, and then it opens with 11:11, not great. Not great. Hey, when was your first time watching this, and how do you feel about it?
I watched this when it first came out. I loved Get Out so much. I was so eager to see another horror film from Jordan Peele. I loved it, and I've seen it several times now since, and obviously watching it again for us to do the podcast, and I notice something every single time I watch it. And this time specifically, because we're doing a podcast on it, I mean, I've gotten to deep dive on some Easter eggs and stuff. I mean, you and I were watching some YouTube videos about Easter eggs explained and stuff before we even sat down to do this episode. And I just love how much substance is in this film.
Piggybacking off of that, it is very overwhelming as a first-time watcher. I watched it 3 times before sitting down today to do this, and I still feel like there's so much I don't understand.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot to consume. If you haven't seen Us, this is your chance. We're going to spoil the shit out of this movie, so turn it off, go watch it, come back. But if you don't give a shit, come on this fun house ride with us.
Oh my God, spooky. So this film follows the Wilson family, and in order to get away from their busy lives, they take a little vacation to Santa Cruz, California. At night, 4 strangers break into Adelaide's childhood home, and the family is shocked to find out that the intruders look just like them. I think that
accurate.
That pretty much nails it on the head.
A+. A little too much information, if you will.
You know, what's interesting too is after Jordan Peele's massive success in Get Out, he was given endless options with full creative freedom, and he was offered different impactful films that he could be behind and even options to direct within the superhero space. But at the end of the day, Jordan was committed to directing his own original horror stories, and God bless Jordan Peele for that.
Truly.
Loved those. He said that an inspiration for Us was the Twilight Zone episode Mirror Image, which was centered on a young woman and her evil doppelganger while pulling from his own lifelong fear of the theory of doppelgangers.
Looking at his IMDb and just talking through it, I didn't realize. So he just did Get Out, and then he does Us in 2019. And he also did, speaking of Twilight Zone, he also did that Twilight Zone series in 2019.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that?
I forgot about that.
I just forgot about it until I saw that note that he was inspired by
Twilight Zone.
Did you watch that?
I think I did.
You did too?
The producer did too.
Oh.
I want to rewatch it now.
What's wild is that was 2019 before COVID, so we kind of all forgot about it.
Seriously.
Like, who knew?
Yeah. Us premiered at South by Southwest on March 8th, 2019, arguably the last good March before COVID.
Ain't that right?
And was theatrically released on March 22nd. The film was ultimately a huge success, grossing $256 million against a budget of just $20 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it received really widespread critical acclaim, having been included in various lists as one of the greatest horror films of the 21st century. Getting into the ratings of this film, though, this has a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb, which I'm going to be honest, and I don't know if you feel this way, but I kind of feel that's a tiny bit low.
You and I have different opinions about this film.
I'm thinking more just the societal acclaim of this film.
Legacy, if you will.
Yeah.
No. I think this is a good score for it.
Okay.
I wonder what Get Out was.
Ooh, yeah.
Let me check real fast. That's a 7.8. So on trend with how your films go.
Over a 6.5 is pretty good.
Absolutely. On Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter was 93% and the popcorn meter was 62, which is wild, especially in that order. 93 for tomato meter and popcorn meter. Popcorn is audience. 62%.
That's a pretty big gap.
That's a huge gap, especially between critics and audience.
Do we feel like it's more people just not understanding it?
I think that it takes a particular kind of horror lover. There's different audiences for horror, markets of horror.
Yeah.
Tied to Jordan Peele, you're going to have success, obviously. This film is not about a controversial subject, but one of his first major motion feature was. So now that's what we think he's going to do, and that's risky. So I definitely think that people were disappointed that this wasn't Get Out, but to them I say, what the fuck do you expect? You can't make masterpiece after masterpiece like that.
And and sorry, not to interrupt you, but like that's their own expectations that they've put on it.
It's all subjective. Like, I don't know how people can expect to rank art against itself. You're just going to die disappointed. It's all just art. So anyways,
yeah,
that's
this
just me ranting, but like you can't expect a director to make like I feel bad for Curry Barker almost because he's made his first time director. He's going to go down in history. The numbers are still coming in. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
I hope he has lots of pillows because he is going to need some soft ground. Some grass maybe even. Yeah. That's a long-winded way of saying the audiences were like, hey, this wasn't Get Out. This is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of on them to have that big of an expectation when you're right. This is a completely different film and it's still equally as good in its own way.
Can I be my devil's own advocate or my own worst critic or something? Though I expected that too. Yeah. I was like, I like to Get Out better.
You're like, is this Get Out too?
But then it took me being able to sit down, reflect, watch it a couple times and be like, okay, let's look at this artistic view of it.
Allie, something you just said totally sparked that. Did you ever see Him?
Was that the comedy?
It's not necessarily a comedy, but it's got Marlon Wayans in it, and Jordan Peele was a producer on it. And so a lot of people were like disappointed because they know Jordan Peele to like put out these bangers, and then Him just kind of fell flat with like a lot of people because they expected so much because his name was attached.
As an artist, how are you supposed to regulate people's expectations of your art,
Totally. And for someone like Jordan Peele, too, I mean, his success is all of his films that he's directed, I mean, I personally love them all. I love him as a director. However, there's a lot of people that are watching it that like may have like a bad taste in their mouth now.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I can never judge a movie because that's somebody's favorite movie.
Totally. So true. Well, speaking of favorite movies, I mean, this is probably one of my favorites, to be completely honest, but let's go hand in hand into the Hall of Mirrors. Would you like to do that with me, Allison?
I'll go hand in hand with you across America.
Perfect. Cheers.
Cheers.
Us opens in 1986. The first thing that we see on the screen is text. It's like black screen, white text. It says there are thousands of miles of tunnels beneath the continental United States. Abandoned subway systems, unused service routes, and deserted mine shafts. Many have no purpose at all.
Can I pause you there?
Yeah.
And get your thoughts on that?
That scared me.
Yeah.
Are there sewer people? Yes. Spoiler alert. Ninja Turtles?
The Ninja Turtles?
Is this the Ninja Turtles?
Hello, Splinter?
Then we are suddenly in a living room with a television commercial promoting Hands Across America, which is a 4,000-mile long chain of Good Samaritans holding hands. They're like planning for this event to happen.
So what really threw me is this is a real thing.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't know that it was a real thing. But I have a quote from Jordan Peele saying that him putting Hands Across America in this film is an example of American duality. That here you are having this event that on one hand is a very beautiful thing. Everyone gets together, they hold hands, and somehow that's going to cure hunger. The illusion is that we're contributing to something that is going to make actual change, as opposed to something that just makes us feel better and absolves us of our responsibility of making actual change. An example of that also could be the ice bucket challenge, because most people didn't have to end up donating because they did the ice bucket thing. Do you know what I mean?
If you think about it, there are so many things like, is there a word for that of doing something to look like you're doing good, but it's just
virtue signaling.
Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
Virtue. Oh, I like that. Virtue.
Yeah, a lot of influencers get accused of doing that, where they film them doing some kind of good deed just to show people that they did a good deed.
The adoption trees thing with the influencers last holiday season. Yeah. I remember my mom talking about it when I was little, and I've heard hearing about it from people who were alive during that movement. It was this thing that was meant to be light and was kind of dark. So to incorporate that here was a very interesting use. It must have had something impactful in his childhood. He must remember that and tie something to it, which is why he's using it here.
We are immediately introduced to young Adelaide Thomas and her parents as they go and they visit the Santa Cruz boardwalk on a stormy evening for her birthday. I immediately love that we are right at the boardwalk. You know what I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Lost Boys vibes. Cry little frickin' sister.
Cry Little Sister is what's up. This is so Lost Boys, and not even just the fact that it's so blatantly Santa Cruz. They say it's Santa Cruz. It's all, and Jordan Peele says, I love Lost Boys. Of course it's going to be Santa Cruz.
Fuck yeah.
But even the look just brings you to this place of like fun, vacation-y, lighthearted.
You're having good times.
Good times.
It's Adelaide's freaking birthday.
And we're at a boardwalk.
Fuck. With lots of games.
Yeah.
And her father even ends up winning her the sickest shirt of all time, a Thriller shirt from one of the carnival games.
You know what? I want that shirt so badly.
Same.
It is good for that dad for getting that. That's a prize you keep.
I don't understand why we don't have more cool shirts as prizes.
That's what I don't need a giant Pikachu. Another one?
No.
I have 7.
So Adelaide, she then wanders away from her parents and enters this like beachfront funhouse called the Shaman's Vision Quest.
How badly did you want to just go in there?
Oh, my literal notes say this is so ominous, but I would def go in.
We would def go in.
We would def go in. Something I want to mention though here, and kind of like fun fact, is that before even entering the funhouse though, she passes a homeless looking man holding a cardboard sign that says Jeremiah 11:11. And that is not the first time that we're going to see 11:11 and even just this specific Bible verse in this film. And I looked up what it is. And essentially this verse, it comes from a passage that alludes to people's past sins and how God's people had forgotten their own history. I mean, actually, to quote the verse specifically, it says, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Basically, it acts as a bad omen for the surface world, warning that a terrible judgment is coming. That is so fucking scary.
Also, this is a real passage.
No, it is.
So.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, the symmetry of the number 11, too. It's just like that first visual that reminds us of how much we share in common and how we're going to see these little like kind of matchups with things all throughout this film. And me, having seen this so many times, I notice a new little sign every single time I watch it.
Oh my God. Like I noticed, I don't know if you saw this, but one of the carnival workers was wearing a Black Flag shirt, and that obviously has lines on it, 4 lines, like 11:11.
I didn't even think of that. Whoa.
It's everywhere. Also, I see this everywhere in my day-to-day life. So yeah, I was tripping.
You and I also, we see it. I mean, we always use it as a positive thing. Like if we see the time and it's 11:11, we're like, oh, make a wish.
One of our friends has a tattoo of it.
Yeah.
We sing to the tattoo.
We love it.
We love it.
But inside Adelaide, she has now entered this little shaman vision quest, and she navigates some fun illusion mirrors at first, and then some like kind of strange displays before the power just completely cuts out. And she tries to leave, but she cannot find her way out. She kind of wanders into like a hall of mirrors. And by the way, there's no one else in here. So there's no one working in there. She can't see any other children or adults that are in there. She's totally by herself. She starts whistling the Itsy Bitsy Spider, probably as a way to maybe like calm down her nervous system a little bit, right? Maybe make her a little less anxious. And then she hears in the distance someone else kind of mimicking her whistle, but it's not exactly the same song.
That reminds me of how in Appalachia, the Appalachian Mountains, if you hear whistling,
oh my God,
you do not answer. If it sounds like somebody you know, it's not that person. You don't answer the whistling. So same here. Funhouse, Appalachian Woods, same thing.
Same thing. Different side of the U.S. Then Adelaide comes unexpectedly face to back. I was going to say face to face, but it's actually face to back with what appears to be herself. And, you know, she's already ran into a mirror a couple of times trying to escape this place where you would guess watching this film, it's just another version of her reflection. But the fact that it's her face and she's facing the back of something that looks exactly like her is like the first kind of scare we get in this film where you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
There's a lot of use of, I don't know the term, so I'm going to say uncanniness in this movie. And it's kind of uncanny valley vibes.
It like makes you feel uncomfortable.
Because I think the most uncomfortable things are the ones that are kind of just off.
Yes.
Just slightly off.
And you just said it. It's like that uncanny valley phenomenon. Even with the whistle, it's like just off. It's not an exact mimic of her whistle. So then we immediately just cut to a close-up of a white rabbit with red eyes, and then it slowly pans out to it's one rabbit in a cage, and then all of a sudden it's like 4, then 6. It's kind of like a metaphor for how rabbits fucking multiply as well. And it just pans out, and it almost looks like an empty classroom with all these cages with rabbits in them against the wall.
It's kind of funny that we see rabbits here, and in Get Out we saw deer. Does Peele just love woodland creatures?
What's funny too is I actually have a fact way down later in our notes, but he's apparently like really scared of rabbits too. So I thought it was funny that he's like, I'm going to face my fear and let's do a fucking cage wall of rabbits.
It's funny what people are afraid of.
I know.
Oswald Cobblepot.
Okay, whoa. You don't need to bring that up here.
My bad. That was low. That was a low blow.
Did you feel like this opening was super strong? Because I loved it.
I feel like Jordan Peele always has great openings. But yes, this was an amazing opening. And not only the imagery, the music.
Yeah. Oh, God. So good.
The cinematography, obviously.
Yeah.
The actors, great. A strong opening always catches me.
And even though like rabbits, bunnies, like they have this reputation as like a cute creature, like you said, like a woodland creature, think Snow White, think, you know, all these little things. It is ominous seeing them all in these cages with the slow pan, right? It has taken something that we like think is a cute little thing, and now it becomes sort of
an experiment.
Frightening. Yeah.
An experiment.
It feels experimental, totally. Then we meet adult Adelaide, played by Lupita Nyong'o, her husband Gabe, played by Winston Duke, and their 2 kids, Zora, played by Shahadi Wright Joseph, and Jason, played by Evan Alex, as they arrive at Adelaide's childhood home for a vacation in, where do you know, Santa Cruz.
They still believe.
They still believe.
Someone's got to check on Grandpa. So while they're on their way to Santa Cruz, they're having this nice family moment in the car, as we all do. I love this because it's reminiscent of my family. We take our road trips, we listen to music. I'm like, what are these songs, Mom and Dad? And they're having this moment.
They're playing I Got Five on It.
And again, I thought that was an original song for this because when we think about that song, we think about this movie. Or we think about Dancing with the Stars, which I certainly do.
I don't share that, but it's okay.
Okay. If you're listening to this either after this or go watch it right now and then come back, there is an amazing dance on Dancing with the Stars. It's a basketball player and one of the professionals to this song. And it is so good. And they move like the characters so well. Jordan Peele wanted Lupita to move like a cockroach because they move fast, but also kind of like Nikki in Obsession, how she moves not in a creepy way, but not a natural way.
Yeah.
So they dance like that on the show. I encourage you to watch it. It's good.
Cool.
Anyway, so they're having this moment in the car with the family talking about the song I Got Five on It. And she's trying to teach him to count on beat and snap his fingers or whatever. And something so interesting is she's almost got it on the beat, but she doesn't quite. And it's very missable.
I totally missed that.
And hopefully you've seen this movie and you're listening, but that's very reminiscent of her being a tethered person.
Because they don't have like rhythm. Everything's like slightly off. Kind of like the whistling in the beginning.
Yes.
You know, it's like it didn't line up perfectly with Adelaide's like itsy bitsy spider.
Just off. And you know when some people are counting off or snapping, but it's just a little offbeat and you're like, oh, that's so cute. Good for,
And as you watch it, you probably have that innocent thought like, oh, she just isn't good at rhythm. But you don't realize it has like a deeper meaning.
You don't realize she comes from the ground.
she under there.
She's under there. No, she's up top.
Yeah. Once they arrive at their vacation home, which is Adelaide's childhood home. So it's where her mom lived. It's where she grew up when she was young. It has a lot of memories tied to it, right? And they sit down together. They're enjoying some like fast food. They've just gotten in. They're getting settled. And they start just having some little chit chat. They talk about Zora and how she's like super good at running, which is going to come into play a little bit later. And Adelaide, though, she's kind of becoming more and more visibly anxious, having returned to Santa Cruz, especially when her husband suggests that they go to the Santa Cruz boardwalk later.
This kind of bothered me a little bit. And tell me if I'm wrong. I was a little annoyed because if you have a family home here, wouldn't this have happened before? And you would have come back and had this PTSD and this would have already happened? You have a vacation home, no?
I agree.
Second thing is, if you have this feeling towards this home, sell it, period. Sell it, period.
Yeah, like why come back? But we also don't know. I mean, we find out a little bit later that she has gone to therapy and did a lot of stuff like as a younger child to like try to suppress this memory that she had when she was young at the boardwalk. So maybe she's always hoping that it'll get better with each visit. Like we don't know the details there.
She's got some child work to do.
She does.
Inner child work.
She does.
She really does. Which one? How many?
We don't know. Then we get a flashback almost immediately of Adelaide's parents taking her to a child psychiatrist. And they're talking about her PTSD from the boardwalk incident and how they don't know what happened to her.
They're acting like they don't want this version of her anymore, which is so sad. And we see her sitting there and she can hear them and she's hearing them say, what's wrong with her? Why is she what happened? What happened in there? Why is she different now?
I'd be like, they hate me.
What do you do as a child? Oh my gosh, they don't want to care for me.
And watching this the first time, I wondered if you felt this way, Els, but watching it the first time too, you're like, oh, she's just been through some shit. So like, she's just going through it right now. You're not thinking she's not the same child, which we're going to find out, later. But then back in the present, we're like all of a sudden back and Adelaide suggests to Gabe that they don't need to go to the beach and that they can just, stay at the house. And Gabe, he kind of uses the kids to like guilt trip her a little bit into going because again, he doesn't know what the big deal is.
Can I say that Gabe needs to sit the fuck down?
Yeah.
Because I love, what's his name? Winston Duke?
Yes.
He was robbed. He deserves an Oscar. He is so good. I don't know
so
what
good.
He's from, but oh my gosh, I love him so much. Gabe, however, fuck off. He is like, well, we don't have to go, but, Jason did say it's his first time back. He's fully gaslighting and guilt tripping his wife, who's like, okay, as long as we're back before dark.
Yep.
So she's being a good wife and recognizing that her husband that just wants to go play with his friend, who wants to play with their toys because life's a pissing competition. She's like, all right, fine. I just want to be back for my stories. God damn it.
Before heading to the beach, because they've now decided, okay, we're going to go. Addie, I'm going to call her Addie because I feel like Adelaide.
I like Addie.
I like Addie. Addie, she looks for Jason down in the basement and she finds a box of old memories, including a photo of her doing ballet as a young girl. And meanwhile, Zora, she's kind of messing with Jason a little bit and she inadvertently locks Jason in a closet when she kicks the ambulance toy that he had holding the door open for him. I love that Jason, by the way, he always wears a Chewbacca mask. It's like the cutest, most fun thing to me.
I love that he just wears a mask.
But I also have questions. Like, it kind of makes me a little bit sad.
No,
like,
100%.
Why are you hiding yourself,
He definitely wears a mask for some deep-rooted issues. And I wonder if one of them is like, my mom doesn't know who she is.
Hey.
Because I don't know who she is.
Hey, that might be a possibility. Hey. Suddenly, Addie and the kids, they hear some like honking. And so they go down to their like private dock at their house and they see that Gabe fucking bought a boat. And I fucking love that it is called Crawdaddy.
He's definitely the dad that wants to prove his love with money.
He wants like the kids to feel like they have all these like experiences and like fun things.
He definitely does. He shows his love through, hey, the Joneses have that car and now we have that car. Don't you love it? So here's where we start to see a heavy influence of Gabe's friendship with quote unquote Josh. I don't know why
who we're going to meet in a second.
We'll meet Josh shortly here, but Gabe really wants to impress Josh with his toys. He wants the same things as Josh. He's trying to prove that he's just as good as Josh.
Like he deserves a seat at Josh's table, even though
it's a boat.
It's a boat. One thing I love too is that the boat he gets, it's not like he's buying this like super yacht. It's a pretty old boat. And he even says to the kids and Addie, he's like, it's got a cassette player and everything.
Loki would love that.
No, same.
That sounds awesome.
The first thing I thought of was you and I would love that boat.
You know what's going on? Our cassette is in the summertime when the weather is hot. Yep. There we go. So we're on that boat, but the kids are like, oh, and Addie is on the shore with her children. They're all being like, what the fuck?
They're just like, okay.
They're like, okay, Dad. Good for you. Yay, we're excited.
As they pull up to the beach, Addie remembers the night that they left Santa Cruz when she was young. And then she like immediately gets pulled out of it when they drive past this homeless man and he's getting into an ambulance holding a sign with that same Bible verse, Jeremiah 11:11 from earlier. And it's just like, well, we're like right back in it. Like, again, we've gotten the symbol again already. And something else I actually want to bring up that I noticed in something that you and I were watching earlier when we were watching like a little kind of behind the scenes of it is I did not realize that when they get to the beach and they start actually walking on the sand, there's this like overhead shot of them and it's all four of them walking in a line and their shadows are casted on the sand. And I was like, whoa, that was super fucking intentional because I think it's mentioned once or twice in the film that the tethered are also considered like the shadows of the people that live above.
This is such a stretch. Follow me real quick. Shadows attached. Peter Pan, Lost Boys, Santa Cruz. I don't know. Is it all related? Who knows?
Yes, all in the same universe.
Peter Pan's shadow was technically separate from him, just like a doppelganger is technically separate, but you share the same DNA question mark?
But you're tethered. So the family then spends the afternoon on the beach with their friends Kitty, played by Elizabeth Moss, and Josh, played by Tim Heidecker, and their twin daughters, Becca and Lindsay. And okay, another fun little reference here is that already twins, Becca, Lindsay, apparently it's actually like a direct homage to The Shining. And we're going to see something else that is related to The Shining in just a little bit too. Even though technically they weren't twins in The Shining.
Semantics. Do you think ever that Kubrick is in his grave being like, God damn it, they're not twins?
Wait, isn't he still alive?
He's not alive, no. He's very much so dead. Okay. Yeah. He died like right after Eyes Wide Shut. Like right after it. What a way to go out. After seeing Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise had just like have sex and watch people like an orgy, just die.
That was the best thing he could have ever seen.
I don't know, man. It fucked me up.
But I do think he's probably rolling in his grave at about how many people call them twins when they were just
and
sisters.
Stephen King, taking a step back.
Yes.
To that.
And Stephen King.
Yes, my bad. What I will also say is I think Elizabeth Moss is such a random casting here, and I just have to say that because do you agree or you think it's just a fine casting?
I fully agree that she's random, but I think she steals like almost every scene she's in.
I think she's never looked better because I think she embodies this character of
this like entitled
rich woman who kind of doesn't want to be a mom. They have this deleted scene. She kind of talks about how she loves her children, blah, 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 but they came at a weird time. There's an extended cut of that, and they go into how Kitty really doesn't want to be a mom, and she could have been a star, basically, she goes into. And then we go in the theatrical cut, she does talk about how she got a little cosmetic surgery. Mm-hmm. So we know Kitty cares about what she looks like.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, her children, her two twin daughters, are twice her size. So who knows what she did down there.
Yeah. As they're all kind of hanging on the beach too, Addie sees that the old shaman's vision quest that she went into as a child is now called Merlin's Forest. Allie, like you mentioned too, when they were having their little like girl talk under the umbrellas, they're like drinking rosé, and Addie, she tries to keep like a really close eye on the kids. You can tell she's trying to engage with her friend, but she's also worried. I mean, she's back at that place where she had a horrible childhood situation happen. And so she's like keeping a real big eye on things.
I don't know if you caught this, but when Addie and Kitty are speaking, Addie is a little more timid than Kitty. Kitty's yapping her brain off. She's talking about cosmetic surgery and children and rosé, and she's extroverted.
Totally.
And then she says to Addie, like, "Are you okay?" And Addie's like, "Oh, I just, I have trouble speaking sometimes." I just caught that. Like, she has trouble speaking sometimes.
Oh.
She's saying, to me, I interpreted that as, I'm just not as extroverted as you. But no, she touches her chest, I think. I have trouble speaking sometimes. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. I'm shy sometimes too. No.
That has a reason.
That's a reason. I love a real-time realization.
I love that you brought up too just the contrast of like their discussion as well, because like you said, Kitty is talking about all these very surface level things. It's very vain. It's very like, how do I look? How am I presenting myself? And she even like makes a comment, I think, that she's like jealous of Addie's like beauty, and
she does.
And like just how she doesn't need to have work done and all this stuff.
She does the classic girl thing is like, oh, it just helps if you need something. And she's like, you don't need work, you bitch.
Yeah.
We all do that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, Addie, you can tell, is having this internal sort of panic.
I can see her struggle. Good for Lupita, because I felt like I felt her anxiety.
Yes.
I don't like that.
It's such a good contrast, like both of them together.
So, and remember that Kitty is part of this couple that they hang out with. It's Josh and Kitty, and Gabe is jealous of Josh and all of his toys. We've already seen him start to emulate his purchases, like getting a boat and talking about vacation houses, and we'll see more of that. And then Kitty is jealous of Addie's beauty and, surface level things. So it's a very capitalistic, transactional, surface level friendship. Not the kind you want necessarily.
It doesn't feel deep.
It doesn't feel deep. It doesn't feel bad, but it's very based on things.
Yeah.
Things, circumstances, situations.
Definitely.
Opportunity.
Then with the kids, Jason, he wanders off briefly after telling Zora that he's going to go to the bathroom, and he walks right by Merlin's Forest. And when he gets out of the porta potty that's right next to it, he sees the same homeless man, I believe, that was being loaded into the ambulance. But now this homeless man is standing on the beach with his back to Jason, and he's got his arms stretched out with blood dripping down his fingers. And when you first saw that, like, what did you think?
All I could think about is, how is nobody else freaking out that this is happening? That's not normal, right? That's like a straight up scarecrow standing in the middle with blood coming down.
It's very scarecrow-esque.
It's spooky.
And it's funny because later on in the film, we're going to see that he's one of the folks that's in a red jumpsuit, and he's holding hands with the whole like holding hands across America thing. That's why his arms are outstretched in this moment. But it's funny because out of context, having your arms just randomly stretched out like that is very creepy. But in the context of you holding hands across America, it's like this sweet, fun, nice thing that you're bringing awareness to solve children's hunger, whatever. But you're right. It's so creepy. And I also got a flashback to the very beginning when Adelaide sees her doppelganger and they are face to back. Jason is facing the back of this man.
Again, there's something so unnatural about reflections, and that has everything to do with doppelgangers.
Totally. So Addie naturally panics when she cannot find Jason, but he actually pretty quickly, thankfully, he walks back to the family on the beach, and she's like, bro, I mean, she doesn't say bro, but she's like, hey, what did you do? Like, you don't ever be out of my sight like that. If you're going to leave, like, you need to let me know. And he's kind of like, Mom, chill. I just like walked right over there to the bathroom. But, he doesn't know the trauma that she had been through. He doesn't know why she's having this like overreaction. So the entire group leaves after Jason comes back. The vibes have sort of been lost, and everybody just kind of like agrees to go home. So the Wilson family, they make their way back, and when they get home, Gabe laments to Addie that Kitty and Josh were talking about their new car. And again, we're bringing up this keeping up with the Joneses energy. Gabe is so focused on the new shit that Josh gets. And it's weird because they don't seem aligned as a couple. They don't care about the same things.
They're not on the same page, and it's a hard place to be in a couple if you're not on that same page, especially when it comes to he wants to be having fun and buying all the things, and perhaps we don't know what she's normally like, but she's pretty much shutting it all down.
I mean, he cares about status, right? And Addie doesn't. You can tell she's not very showy. She doesn't get cosmetic work done. It's not like she's wearing thousands of dollars of diamonds and designer things. She's just like a normal mom. Yeah. And he cares about that status. And there's also probably that underlying, like I'm trying to say, this underlying want to just be seen as someone like Josh. Addie then is getting the kids to bed, and she takes a little extra time with Jason, and she's talking about the beach incident earlier and just trying to explain to him why she freaked out and just help your mom out here and don't make her have to guess where you are.
Just something I noticed in the movie. I love that. Okay, the dad is so funny. He's a little shithole, but he is so funny. His comedic timing really lightens the mood when you need it. And they're kind of talking about, I don't know, something serious, and then shit talking his kids. Like, kid hasn't even seen Home Alone. I was like, that's right. Fuck you.
He doesn't know. He doesn't even know that the wet bandits could break in at any moment.
I love that levity thrown in there.
Yeah. Right as she kisses Jason goodnight, the clock reads 11:11. And then she finds a drawing that Jason drew of his perspective of looking at the homeless man earlier that he saw right out of the bathroom. When I saw that, I don't know about you, but that freaked me the fuck out.
The drawing?
Yeah.
I want to know how many times kids have actually drawn creepy shit and it's come true to make it that much of an imprint.
I want to think never, but I'm sure it's happened so many times. I'm scared of my future kids' drawings.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Like, we're very spiritual. We're going to, they might be drawing some creepy shit because of what we're going to expose to them.
They're going to hand me something and I'm going to be like, yeah, no.
Return.
I don't accept that energy.
Addie is rightfully very freaked out by this also. And she later then goes to her bedroom with Gabe. And Gabe suggests to Addie that they take the boat out the next day and maybe go fishing. Addie doesn't really respond. She's definitely a bit withdrawn in this moment, and then finally tells him that she just wants to go home. She's like, I can't be here. It's just too much. And she says, I don't feel like myself. Very poignant statement. And I love Gabe just being the surface level guy he is. He's like, well, I think you look like yourself.
I wanted to fucking punch Gabe. If someone ever says that in response to I don't feel like myself, I will punch you.
That is a red flag.
That is so rude.
You need to dig into that a little deeper with your wife, Gabe.
Honestly, Addie, we just met, but like, where is the redeeming quality here?
Yeah. Thankfully, though, Addie, she takes it upon herself to tell Gabe about her childhood in Santa Cruz and about the story at the boardwalk and how she saw another girl who looked exactly like her, but it wasn't a reflection.
Have you ever seen anybody? We're two white blonde women. We're everywhere.
We are.
I have straight up seen people that I thought was me.
Really?
I saw somebody the other day wearing something so similar to me, and I was like, what the fuck?
I was on the phone with you.
Yeah. I was probably like, I think that's me over there.
No, I think I'm over there.
Oh, so this is just real. So us is real,
yes.
And we just caught a glitch in the usness of it all. And
you were
tethered. There. And the tethered, and you were there.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
I have been told by people that they have seen my doppelganger in other countries, which kind of freaks me out. One of them was in Germany, actually. And then one time, I'll have to find it. There is a commercial out there, and I forget what product. It's for some kind of medication. My aunt sent me a screenshot, and she was like, Emma, I literally thought you were in this commercial. And I'm not going to lie, the girl looks fucking like me. And I tried to find the actual commercial so I could like watch it, and I haven't found it. So I only have this like screenshot, but the girl looks like me and it freaks me out.
Okay, we have to find it one day. So we do have doppelgangers.
We do. Oh, absolutely.
And I have a twin, so I don't know what that makes me.
That's like times 2.
Oh no, that's bad.
Scary.
That's bad news.
Addie then explains to Gabe that her whole life, she kind of has just felt like this little girl is coming for her. And she talks about these coincidences that she keeps noticing since they got there. And it almost feels to her like this little girl that, she had this experience with when she was young. It feels like she's getting closer. Then out of nowhere, they lose power. And Gabe exclaims, oh, this is why Josh has a backup generator. Again, bringing Josh into the mix any fucking time he can.
It's always about Josh and how Josh has money that can find a solution.
Yes.
And that's what Gabe wants.
Totally. Jason then comes into their room and he says, like, I think the scariest line of the whole movie. He's like, there's a family in our driveway.
This was the funniest thing to me. Just like, so there's a family in our driveway. And the dad's like, fuck off. And then cut to, there's a family in the driveway. And Gabe is like, that's a family in the driveway.
But Gabe, he like goes to investigate and he notices these 4 figures silently standing at the end of the driveway in the dark. These figures do not move. They're holding hands. And Addie immediately tries to call the police. If you looked outside and saw 4 people standing in your driveway, what would your first move be? If they were being creepy like this?
Okay, so my instinct would be, this is the strangers. Like, and that's a trigger for me. That set off something.
That's a real fear for you.
That's an actual real. That's not me joking. That's me being, oh shit, the strangers are here, because that's the monsters, the strangers, and I can't even ideate because I would be paralyzed.
You'd be like frozen.
I would be frozen. I can't even form words because that's how it freezes. What are you supposed to do? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I mean, I would call the police, but
I think call the police for sure. And if they're just being like kind of creepy and I just feel like there's sometimes that gut feeling that it's like, something weird is happening right now. I would be like, even if we're overreacting, maybe we all go out the back door. Maybe we all get on the boat.
Always trust that gut feeling. Sometimes you don't have it and it isn't anything.
Totally. Gabe initially assumes that they're just like pranksters trying to scare people. He comes outside and he's trying to ask them to leave, but they don't. Then he comes back inside and he agrees with Addie, like, okay, we need to call the police and get a hold of them.
Because at first Gabe's like, I'll go talk to him. And then he comes back in, call the police.
Yeah.
At first he's making fun of Addie for wanting to call the police. And then when he comes back inside and she's on the phone with the police, she's like, 10 minutes. He's like, 10 minutes? No, faster. He's completely switched his mind.
Finally, he is taking something a little bit seriously here. And another little Shining reference here is Gabe. He goes back outside carrying a baseball bat this time. And he tries to kind of use that as an intimidation factor. And this is a reference from Jordan Peele for The Shining, going back to Wendy and her having her bat when she is trying to kind of stick up for herself against Jack. Instead, though, of him scaring away these strange people in the driveway, other Gabe is what I'm going to call him for now.
I love that.
He starts slowly walking towards the house while 2 figures crawl out of view and then one just kind of hangs back. Eventually, these people, they break inside. One even starts whistling. We're back to the frickin' whistling again. The family slowly realizes that each intruder looks exactly like one of them, except they're all wearing red jumpsuits.
Kind of a vibe. Kind of want one.
Kind of a vibe. However, can I tell you a fact about this?
Yes, please.
That we actually saw in one of these like interview behind the scenes things that we were looking at. I didn't realize, but there was something that these red jumpsuits were reminding me of, and it's
apparatuses. Red jumpsuit apparatus.
Oh my God, hell no.
Hey, they have a good song.
It reminded me of prison. And during our like video, when we were looking at the behind the scenes, they say that these jumpsuits, it is sort of like when you're a prisoner, you're in your orange jumpsuit, you've lost a lot of your autonomy to like vote. You don't have the same rights as the people on the outside because you are on the inside, similar to people underground versus like above in this film. So I thought that was kind of crazy because it is a little bit symbolic to like, they're kind of in prison underneath.
I didn't put that together, but that makes total sense.
Isn't that cool? Question for you. At this point, when you saw these people in the driveway, what was your theory about who they were when you first saw this?
To me, it's strangers.
Yeah, you just knew they were trouble.
100%. We know they're trouble. They look ominous. There's a difference between shadowy figures and shadowy figures wearing the same clothing and have strange bodily movements.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid of that. Yes. The woman moving like a bug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Creepy.
Well, I mean, you would think the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, there's something not so chill happening.
Now, I keep saying this, you guys, and I keep now checking myself. What would I really do? Because all I can think about is Marcy in Cabin Fever with her really cute jeans and her really cute shoes, and I probably would have done that. So now I keep thinking about that in every movie. I probably would have been like, it's fine. We don't need to go outside.
Yeah, who cares?
Lock the door, see what happens.
They're just people on our driveway.
Yeah, I would honestly probably think that way.
Yeah.
Not great for anybody.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
When this other family gets into the house, one of them, the other Gabe, he hits Gabe in the knee with the bat and then like kind of forces like the rest of them into the living room. We then meet Adelaide's double, and her name is Red. Vibes. She starts speaking in a very strained, raspy voice, and she's also got really scary scissors.
Watching this 3 times back to back in a matter of like a day and a half, not great
for the soul.
For the soul, and this voice haunts me. It's she's struggling. You can hear the struggle to get the words out. And that to me is a fear too. Obviously, I talk really fast because I need to get my point across. So the thought of struggling to get words out is a fear. And so I get that. And I can feel the struggle that Lupita is having while she's delivering this performance. Like that must have been so exhausting. Lupita actually based this voice on a real-life condition called spasmodic dysphonia that it sometimes can be a result of trauma, and it makes your voice sound like spasmy and has an odd air. Basically what she sounds like.
Wow, so she did her homework. Red then starts telling her and the rest of the family the story of the tethered. And her voice is too just like so unsettling. To your point, her emulating it off of this condition and how we come to find out too that the people down below or like underground, they don't use their voices.
Yeah.
So things start kind of like I'm starting to like put pieces together, and as a viewer you're sort of just like, okay, like what's going on here? How did you learn to talk? But, you know, as she's telling this story of the tethered, she recounts Addie's young experience. And she said the girl had a shadow and they were tethered. And she explains that everything in Addie's life has happened to her, but as a horrible opposite of experience. They have lived underground, the tethered, forced to mimic the lives of those above. And, you know, she says, quote, the shadow hated the girl so much until she realized that she was being tested by God. It's kind of her introing like, you know, God selected me to lead this like charge or what have you. And like, hence why she's there now. Then we meet every single family member's kind of counterpart. So we have Red, who is the exact counterpart of Addie. We meet Abraham, who is Gabe's counterpart. Umbre, who is Zora's, and then finally Pluto, who is Jason's.
Side note, how cute is that name?
Pluto?
For Jason?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And just like Jason wears his little Chewbacca mask, Pluto wears this white mask that is actually kind of scary. But
we kind of learned that each of their tethered versions emulates some kind of similar traits in a way.
Yes. Even I think at one point too, Gabe's counterpart, Abraham, actually takes his glasses off of his face and he's wearing glasses for the first time because his tethered self probably had also bad vision
but didn't have access
to glasses. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I love these little small things that they do. Gabe, he tries to reason with them and he's like, hey, I can offer you money. He's like, I can give you the boat. And I love this part. Zora goes, nobody wants the boat, Dad. It's so freaking funny. And Gabe is like, who are you people? Kind of like, why are you here? All that Red says is, we're Americans. And after doing some more research really into the in-depth thought process and meaning of this film, Jordan Peele has this amazing quote on classism and the meaning of this film.
What are you people? We're Americans.
One of the central themes in us is that we can do a good job collectively of ignoring the ramifications of privilege.
They created the tethered so they could use them to control the ones above. Like puppets.
I think it's the idea that what we feel like we deserve comes, you know, at the expense of someone else's freedom or joy. You know, the biggest disservice we can do as a faction with a collective privilege like the United States is to presume that we deserve it and that it isn't luck that has us born where we're born. For us to have our privilege, someone suffers. That's where the tethered connection, I think, resonates the most, is that those who suffer and those who prosper are two sides of the same coin. We can never forget that. We have to fight for the less fortunate.
So I think this is so interesting and so true for him to point out, bring up, make a movie about. Is it's in the title. It's us, them. Us, them. If there's an us, there's an them. Making it tribalism. And naturally with that, not everybody can win.
Yeah, there's like a power struggle.
Yes. So literally, when you have an us, you have a them. And that infers, like you said, struggle, battle, fights. It's inherent in nature. There's an inherent nature of protecting, surviving, all of that. And that comes with that tribalistic mentality. You can't help it. If you become part of a tribe, you're going to protect your tribe. And that other tribe is now an enemy if the resources are
being threatened.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I like how he also mentions too that it's like the two sides of the same coin, right? Because it's the tethered, they are the same people as the, normal ones above. But again, they're just like slightly off. They're like considered a quote unquote lesser version of the folks that live above. I love that Jordan at the end of that quote says like, we need to fight for the less fortunate, because at any time we can easily be in that person's position, right?
Right. Which is even scarier that there's an us versus them mentality when it's a power dynamic. So this capitalism is a power dynamic. It's definitely a major reference on duality, which we see throughout this entire film, not only with, rich versus poor or anything, but within yourself, duality within yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duality for you get duality. You get duality. Everybody gets duality.
And Red, in this moment, she reveals that they have come to reclaim their lives. She's flipping the coin and is like, we are going to be living this life now that you guys haven't even realized that you should be so grateful for. Red even references that house as her home, which kind of going to be brought up a little bit later in what we find out.
It kind of makes you think that this family had been luring them, right? Drawing them to this property. Because why else, would they be coming there?
And you remember Addie says something to Gabe earlier where she's like, I feel like the more that we're here and the more I'm seeing these coincidences, it makes me feel like I'm being drawn here by that little girl.
And it's back to symbolism and noticing signs and being drawn by signs and all that's all connected that way. It's all connected, man.
Speaking of Red and just Lupita Nyong'o's performance as Red, like it is absolutely incredible. Was there a part of you when first seeing it that kind of forgot it was the same actress?
I say this with 0 ounce of shame. I watched this movie twice thinking they were different actors. I am not kidding.
I mean, that tells you it was effective. Just like Lindsay Lohan in The Parent Trap.
Exactly like that. Yes. No, I think she did such a beautiful job of playing both roles so differently. And I listened to an interview with her. She's playing against no one. She's playing against no one. She's playing both roles.
That is, I can't imagine how hard that is.
And to make it so distinct, you have to be, she's acting so hard at both sides.
Yeah.
Talk about duality.
She's freaking nailing it.
She's nailing it. They all are, to be honest.
Yeah.
All of these actors who were presented with this challenge from Jordan Peele saying, look, bro, this is going to be hard. You're going to be 2 people and you're not going to be seeing them at the same time, But we have to believe both of those people on the same screen at the same time. You can't do it. You have to make believe all of it. That's movie magic.
That is movie magic. And that is just a goddamn talented actor.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Bringing it back to the Lupita. She robbed. She deserves 2 for her performances.
The tethered then demand that Addie handcuffs herself to the living room table, and then she's like begging for them to at least not hurt her children. They've already, hit Gabe on the frickin' knee with a bat, and she doesn't know what's going to be happening next. Then all hell kind of breaks loose, and they all sort of start fighting their own counterparts after Gabe gets dragged off out of the house by Abraham. And it's funny because this whole like sequence unravels, and I'm not going to go in order here because I kind of want to touch like each member individually, because each family member sort of survives in their own way using their like unique strengths. We have Zora. She outruns Umbre when having a little bit of a cat and mouse chase on a car, and then a neighbor comes out and Umbre gets distracted by it, and Zora's able to make her run.
Can I tell you how that scene fucked me up in a really strange way? Just the fact that she keeps running. Yeah. She doesn't even stop. She's like, I hear my mission.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Dude, she really is. Fuck yeah. She can hear and sense somebody probably dying behind her, and she keeps running.
She is eye on the prize.
She's eye on the prize, but so is her counterpart. And the prize is blood. Yeah. So they're both doing they're the same. Two sides of the same coin, just going after different things.
Yeah. And then with Jason, he quickly realizes that Pluto mirrors some of his own movements and is easily manipulated with his quote unquote tricks. Addie kind of encourages him like, oh, go take Pluto and like show him some of your quote unquote tricks. And Jason, he sees in this closet, basically Jason takes him to the closet that he got locked into earlier. And Jason sees that Pluto has some major burn scars on his face when they lift the mask off of each other. Then Jason, he's able to lock him in the closet. Jason figuring out Pluto's mirrored behavior, I feel like it's incredibly clever. He's a smart fucking kid. Do you feel like he's like secretly the smartest character in this movie?
I think we don't give children enough credit. I think they see a lot more and know a lot more than we think they do. So I think he's right on I think he's using this situation in a very smart way and using what he knows in his favor. He knows the house. We don't know if or what's his name? Pluto. We don't know if Pluto knows the house because he might live there too. But to me, they're playing off of each other almost. They're almost using each other. Yeah, Jason is showing Pluto his tricks, but Pluto is also tricking Jason.
It's almost Pluto like wants to play.
They want to play with each other.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one-sided either. I think they both want to play.
Jason, though, he feels like he has a deeper level, though, of manipulation. Like he's like, yes, I kind of want to play and like this is kind of fun, but also at the end of the day, these are kind of the bad guys and I need to like do what I need to do to get out of this situation.
Totally, but don't you feel like there's a kindredness between the Jasons?
For sure.
Like, yes, he understands on a very rooted level that I must kill this thing, but he also knows on that same level that that thing is part of me.
They kind of don't want to hurt each other, it seems, you know?
No.
It's very much just like, hey, I kind of need to just outsmart you in this moment and get away from you.
It almost feels like they both want to wait it out.
Yeah. Gabe and Abraham, then they have gone onto the boat. They have a little boat rendezvous.
Which is funny to me because Gabe's would. Yeah. Gabe's would fight on a boat. My boat's bigger than yours.
Yeah. And Abraham has put Gabe into a black trash bag, which I thought was interesting because looking back on it, it's like the fact that he even had the wherewithal that like, I'm going to dump your body so that it doesn't get found. Almost like he's thinking of repercussions. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking like a little too deep into that.
No, because I thought as deep as to he's putting him in a black bag and then we see Gabe clawing out of the bag. And I'm like, oh, what's the other Gabe's name?
Abraham.
Did Abraham want to make Gabe see what it's like to not be able to see as well by putting him in a bag? And then he's like, I can't see.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Well, I'm thinking too deep.
No, I like it. We don't get straight answers here. So, all we know though is that after some kind of back and forth with the boat, Abraham, he gets knocked off at some point, and as he's climbing back onto the boat to try to attack Gabe turns the engine back on the boat and it shreds the shit out of Abraham with the propeller. Gabe killing Abraham with the boat propeller, like, I feel like this is one of the coolest kills in the movie.
It was definitely cool. However, I'm team Abraham.
Are you?
Yes. I'm mostly team tethered.
Really?
Mostly, yes, for the most part.
Ooh, okay. We're going to have to dive into that later. Okay.
Remember, I'm a twin, so read into that.
That's true. We do call you the evil twin sometimes.
That is true.
So Adelaide then escapes Red after Pluto gets stuck in the closet and she has to go and get him. I think they have a moment where Red and Adelaide are looking at each other and they hear their children crying. And I think Adelaide says, "That's yours." And that's Pluto crying.
There's moments between all of them where they kind of are funny with each other and get each other on a level that only you would know with yourself. Or like a really close friend.
Yeah.
And so it makes it almost sad that you don't want to hurt your friend.
I know.
They're part of you.
Adelaide and Jason then are able to run off together and reunite with Zora. I kind of forget how, but I think in some way Adelaide gets out of the handcuffs I think she just like takes a chunk of the table with her. Gabe then picks up his family at the dock and they temporarily all escape together on the Crawdaddy.
The Crawdaddy saved lives.
As the Wilson family escapes, they make their way to Josh and Kitty's house.
So this scene really gets me on a number of different levels. We're at Josh and Kitty's house. And remember, Josh and Kitty are our friends that we're jealous of. They have all the pretty things. We're at their house and it's very nice. It's glass, floor to ceiling, glass windows, gorgeous. And it's Josh and Kitty in the living room. They're kind of going back and forth and having some kind of sassy banter. Josh, has a drink in his hand and he's clearly drunk and
He's
Kitty,
like relaxing.
He's relaxed and he's wearing his kimono. He's relaxed. And Kitty's like, yo, there's something outside. So she's starting to raise concern and she's like, you have to go look this up. And he's saying, no, it's chill. Everything's good. He's kind of being like Gabe, being dismissive of his wife and saying, it's all good. Let's listen to the Beach Boys. And then we hear good vibrations. This next part, this was so daunting. We see the twins come out of their beautiful second story open air mansion room. It's gorgeous. They're out on the little balcony and out of nowhere comes a triplet, if you will, and just stabs one of the normal twins in the neck in front of her mom and her dad. And they're upstairs. These two twins are upstairs. The mom and dad are downstairs watching this. Just straight up, this other twin with a smile on its face wearing a jumpsuit just coming right in the jugs.
Getting yeeted. And that threw me off so badly. And then we go from the inside shot and then we get an outside shot because they have this beautiful glass house. Of course they do. And we just see some stabbing just going in this big old glass house. That messed me up so bad. Just some good old-fashioned stabbing.
Just some good old-fashioned stabbing in a glass house. Really, really scared me for no good reason.
Oh, yeah. And Josh and Kitty also get attacked by now their counterparts. So we've got some more tethered souls in this mix.
Oh, yes. I got stuck. I was so distracted by the triplets, the quadruplets, that I forgot to mention that other Josh, tethered Josh, my favorite character. So we meet tethered Josh and he is kind of a sassy motherfucker. Does he knock Josh down and goes to get his hand or something? And then he's like, oop, too slow. And he goes to slick back his hair.
Yes.
He's that kind of tethered. And he's wearing Josh's kimono. He's right at home.
He puts that thing like right on. And I love this part too because Kitty, she's barely alive. She's been stabbed and she's crawling on the floor trying to get to Josh. And she asks like other Josh to stop, which only stops her like the system, her house system, her Alexa, basically. And when she asks it to call the police, it starts playing Fuck the Police by NWA. And it is perfect comedic timing because it's like this could happen in a real life intrusion situation, and but you can't help but laugh that of course it didn't call the police. It ended up playing this song. Absolutely.
And in real life, those situations happen where it's like, what are the odds of that happening?
Yeah.
And you just have to laugh.
Yeah. Adelaide then shows up to the house only to find the carnage that has gone on when she comes face to face with Josh's counterpart wearing the kimono.
But it's kind of like how you said Gabe's other grab glasses.
Yeah. Other Josh tries to then attack Gabe while Zora and Jason go inside the house to grab weapons. And they each get a golf club and then like a huge, is it an amethyst crystal? I'm like, I feel like you know what crystal it is.
I didn't even see a crystal. There was a lot going on.
Really?
I would have known.
I think it's one of those like geodes.
It was probably an amethyst.
That people put on like display.
In their house. You see them at Airbnbs a lot.
It's probably like $300. Again, just a display of wealth.
Just kidding. It's probably $9.99 at Home Goods.
Oh, maybe.
The wealthy love Home Goods.
No, that's true. Then as Jason and Zora are like in the house, they manage to kill Lindsay and Becca, the twins, their counterparts. So, they kind of at least eliminate that threat. Something I want to note here too, and you kind of mentioned it already with Josh is that the Tyler family, their tethereds are bizarrely fascinated with wealth and luxury. It's like they are finally getting their moment and they're like, oh, we've been wanting this. They don't care about anything else almost.
Almost cute.
Yeah, because we see Kitty and her counterpart all of a sudden is trying on Kitty's lip gloss and admiring herself in the mirror. And then we see like behind her in a pan out shot that she's got Addie handcuffed to the bed.
You know what I just thought of as a bright side of this situation?
Yes.
If you will. If you have to find a bright side in this situation, if you're going through the situation and you need to find something positive, you can try your clothes on you're tethered. Try the makeup on the tethered. Try the hair looks on the tethered.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't need to do any of it.
Use this situation to your benefit. Like how Cher Horowitz has to get Polaroids taken of her. No, you just try everything on your tethered version. Easy.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Then right as other Kitty comes up with the scissors to try to hurt Addie, she's like almost trying to like take the scissors to the side of her face. Other Kitty hesitates. And then she like goes back to sit down and looks at herself in the mirror. And she takes the scissors to her own face instead and kind of starts like cutting. And it's funny because she almost made the same gesture on the beach when she was telling Addie that she got a little work done. So it's really funny.
It's almost like your tethered is illuminating the parts of you don't want to illuminate.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Okay, fun fact here too, because I was thinking in my head, okay, why didn't other Kitty try to kill Addie? Like she had an opportunity. She could have stabbed her right then and there and killed her. But Red, the real Adelaide, who was switched at childhood, organized this entire uprising with all of the tethered. And these tethered folks, they had to act with very specific instructions in order to hold certain targets. Hence why other Kitty didn't kill her. And I got confirmation of this like from an interview that Jordan Peele did. He kind of explained why even when given the opportunities, they didn't take them because that just wasn't their job, essentially. Then Zora tries to go and save her mom and other Kitty interferes. But Jason, little sweet Jason, he freaking saves the day. And I love that I Got Five on It starts fucking playing again. And all seems to be well as Gabe also barely makes it out of his altercation with other Josh. And he goes, I'm done with boats. Because I think something happens to his boat or like, I think he kills Josh on the boat, other Josh. And then he's like, well, I'm done with boats.
He says it so unseriously. He's like, well, fuck that. I'm done with boats.
And the Wilson family, they narrowly survive yet another brutal confrontation. Another thing I really love here is that I think that as they're like sitting down and kind of trying to just digest what just happened and figure out their next move, I think Zora says, does this mean that we get their car? And it's funny because it's like, that's all Gabe has wanted. It's like, he just heard about Josh's new car. So after surviving the whole Tyler family attack, they do try to call 911 again before they leave the house, and all the operators are busy. They talk a little bit more about the situation, and Jason asks, how many of everybody is there going to be? Which, that to me is like, I didn't even think about how there's probably going to be many more. So the fam then, they watch the news in horror as they see that the boardwalk has been totally taken over by the tethered, and people are just getting freaking stabbed left and right. One of the newscasters said, or someone I think on the news says like someone said that they're coming out of the sewers. And then a news clip shows all of the tethered holding hands. So we're getting that hands across America visual. And Addie tells her family, like, we got to go. She's like, she has a plan. She's like, let's take the coast. Let's leave and go to Mexico. And I think Gabe's like, dude, you're scaring the kids. And they're both like, too late. And it's bringing so much. I think they've disassociated a tiny bit in order to be in kind of survival mode.
You have to.
Yeah.
And it's kind of involuntary. They've definitely reached that.
Definitely. Then as the family walks out to the Tyler's car, Addie has to go back inside to get the keys, and she runs into one of the twins' counterparts that like they thought was dead. She's able to stab her with the scissors, and she has a very kind of animalistic stabbing. And Jason, he walks back into the house and he witnesses all of this, but it kind of doesn't faze him. It's like he's seen a lot already, but he also is kind of looking at her with like a little bit of a side eye.
And we know that things are already clicking for him about his mom, quote unquote.
Yeah. Zora insists that she's driving and says that she has the highest kill count. And that is the reason why she should be allowed to drive. And it's so cute because they have this like, they talk about with each other. She's like, I killed both the twins. And then Addie's like, nuh-uh, I just killed one of them that came back. And then Gabe, I think, comes in at one point and he's like, I killed other Josh and other Gabe, basically. And so it's just like they're bringing like a light to this really unfortunate situation.
It was really cute because it's something that at least my family definitely would do in the face of fear is like make fun of it by actually using violence as the humor.
They're gamifying
They're
it.
gamifying the violence that they're having to inflict on other things. They're getting through it with laughing. I think it's so cute. Also, Dead Meat James would be proud that they're talking about a kill count.
Exactly. What's your opinion on the dynamic of the family and like their kind of just collective reaction to all of the events taking place?
Again, I think their immediate reaction with coming together as a family and bonding and solving it with humor. I mean, look at none of them are gravely injured. They're all still alive. They're all together moving. All together. All together is a huge feat.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. And all together in one piece for the most part. I think they're doing great. And also they're working through things they might necessarily would have before. Again, we don't know these people and their background story. All I can infer is that Gabe's kind of an asshole husband and Addie has anxiety and the kids are relatively normal family.
Yeah. Normal fam.
So a normal family going through whatever the fuck this is and guiding through it with humor.
They're doing the best they can.
They're doing the best they can. And I think that's such a fun way to look at it.
Jordan Peele actually, he saw these characters of the film as an archetypal foursome, with Adelaide being the leader, Zora being the warrior, Gabe being the jester/fool, which we can agree with, and Jason being the whiz/magician. And I think that I love these classifications.
Tropes, if you will.
Yeah, I think they make perfect sense.
Absolutely. I think so. And I think that they always lend to a good story having a trope. I think also it's the American family, right? One girl, one boy.
Yep. I also, I don't know why, but like having this archetypal pattern that we were just discussing when I saw this fun fact, it just like immediately brought me back to Cabin in the Woods with all the different,
stone pillars.
Yeah. And there's the different people that fit into the specific pillar. Anyways, as they pull out of the driveway, they unfortunately run into Umbre, which was Zora's counterpart, and Zora just drives, but Umbre jumps on top of the car. Zora is able to eventually launch her into the trees with like a really hard kind of like acceleration and a brake.
Yeah.
Addie gets out of the car to make sure that she's dead and finds her hanging upside down in a tree. She's totally injured and she's kind of just like laughing as she dies. And I found this part very sad because I think the mother part of Addie just tells her like, shh, because she's trying to comfort her in her last moments. Like you think when she's getting out of the car that she's going to go end it if it's not already ended. But like she kind of pulls a fast one on us a little bit. And she shows this like very empathetic part of herself towards the tethered.
It didn't shock me.
Yeah.
Because she's...
No, I agree. Yeah. I agree. And it's like...
inherent,
and you're seeing your daughter. It, just because it's another part of your daughter, I mean, it still looks like your freaking daughter.
Well, how fucked up of a mind game is that I guess that's AI, isn't it? Just making the recognition of your loved one do something else.
Spooky. That's spooky. The Wilson family then drives through Santa Cruz, and they're just like discovering that this invasion is happening everywhere. There are bodies covering the streets. There are abandoned cars. There's like little fires here and there.
It's a zombie wasteland almost.
It totally is. Okay, real quick question. Which Wilson family member would you want on your apocalypse team if this were to happen or something like it?
Honestly, probably Jason.
Dude, that is my answer too as well.
Because he's way too smart and he's quiet, so he's going to get out of this.
He's way too freaking smart for his own good.
Yeah.
He really is.
Well, we know that he's half tethered.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, there you go.
Yep.
He's a mudblood.
You're so right.
He's a tethered blood.
He's a tethered blood.
As they turn a corner by the beach, they randomly see what looks like their car in the middle of the street up in flames. And Pluto is standing between them and the burning car. Addie then gets out to try and reach a hand out to Pluto.
Again, being a mother.
And Jason, he quickly realizes that it's a trap. and that Pluto has actually cut the gas line to their car. They actually did hear like a little sound underneath their car a little earlier. And he's going to try to burn them up from the line of fuel that's leading from the burning car to theirs. So Jason gets like the rest of the family out of the car quickly. He's like, wait, everybody get out. Like, this is a trap. Then Jason remembers that Pluto imitates his every move. And so he slowly starts walking backward. And this inadvertently causes Pluto to walk backwards himself and into the flames of the burning vehicle. And Pluto just like totally catches fire. And it's kind of sad.
Yeah, because we know he's been burned before.
We know he's been burned before. And it's just, again, it's like there's nothing
Bad.
cute about like a child dying, you know?
I said bad. Just kidding. They're literally killing people. No, even if you're right. There's, again, back to the visual of it. If it's your loved one, still visually super weird. Even if it's not the essence of your loved one. If it's a child, even if it's your child possessed by a demon.
Still gives you some feelings.
Still doesn't look right.
The moment also in my mind, it kind of just demonstrated how observant Jason has been throughout this entire film. And he's clocked. He's clocked everybody. He doesn't say it outright all the time, but like he kind of knows what the fuck is going on.
I don't think he ever says it.
No, yeah, he doesn't.
He sees what's up and he shuts the fuck up.
But one part that he was not anticipating was, unfortunately, he gets freaking snatched up by Red in this moment of distraction. Jason was right that it was a trap, but it was more of a trap than I think he realized. Adelaide then realizes like she has to go and confront Red herself in order to get Jason back, which brings her back to the boardwalk and back to that fun house from her childhood. She sees hundreds of tethered folks holding hands right outside, going into the water, right outside the entrance of this like fun house.
So if you knew that you had to do this in order to make it stop, would you do it?
I'd just be like, it's my family. This is my son. I need to stop whatever the fuck is going on. And to be honest, I think my curiosity would be like, what the fuck is going on in there?
Let's be real. It's the curiosity.
It is more than anything,
like,
probably.
What's going on in there?
One of the tethered guys, though, holding hands is the homeless guy from earlier. And we actually see him, the front side of him. And he's still wearing his little trench coat, but he's got a red jumpsuit on underneath.
Isn't that one of the scariest phenomenons is seeing somebody you think is unassuming and weak and less than suddenly actually have power and be important.
It's like, no, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Addie then enters the funhouse and she descends beneath it. And she's kind of getting flashbacks of her childhood memory throughout this experience as she's kind of getting triggered by these different views of the place. She then discovers the hidden underground tunnels where the tethered live. And we find out that there are literally endless identical hallways that stretch beneath America. And rabbits also fill this entire underground facility.
Did this not, any semblance of this, remind you of Backrooms or Severance or any combination of that?
All of it.
Okay, cool.
It's like a liminal space.
Liminal space.
Right?
Liminal space.
So, yeah, they're, dude, same universe.
Uncanny Valley, liminal space.
I hate it.
But I love it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Going back to the rabbits, though, so aside from them being a never-ending food source for the tethered, which is their purpose down there, the influx of rabbits is personal to Jordan because of his irrational fear of them. So kind of like what we mentioned a little bit earlier, he's like, on paper, they're adorable, they're lovable animals, but you can tell in their eyes that they have the brain of a sociopath. I love that he thinks that about rabbits. He says, if you put a rabbit brain in a human body, you get Michael Myers. There's no empathy.
Ooh.
I'm like, well,
how does he know that?
Like, I've never thought about that.
Why does he know that? Does he study rabbit brains?
Potentially.
That sounds weird.
That guy be up to some things. So
he'd be up to Key and Peele, and he's got so many characters in his brain.
Yeah, he's got Keegan-Michael Key is in a laboratory doing Jordan Peele's laboratory work.
You just blew my brain up.
Your rabbit brain or your regular brain?
Or my tethered brain.
Oh,
I don't
fuck.
know. God. 11/11, make a wish.
Adelaide begins piecing together the true story of the tethered. And meanwhile, the rest of the family, Gabe and Zora, they have sort of taken solace in an abandoned ambulance. And Addie, she makes her way then into a classroom and sees Red at the blackboard, and she's drawing all of the tethered holding hands, just like what was seen outside. And Addie Just like, dude, where's Jason? Like, give me him back. And Red then goes into this kind of story time of the origin of the tethered. And she says, we're people too, you know. And she believes that humans figured out how to copy a body, but not a soul. And in turn, they created the tethered. They wanted to use them to manipulate the people above, but then the tethered ended up getting abandoned. And because they got abandoned, it's just like they had no order. They didn't know where to go. They didn't know what to do. So they've just been like down there in these underground tunnels for forever. And the tethered continued without any direction. And they essentially like went mad. And she says, and then there was us.
I love this part.
What's like the theory of why and who you think created the tethered? Have you thought about like maybe why?
I didn't know I was allowed.
Jordan Peele, he obviously said that he knows the full backstory of the tethered, but he wants to let the audience interpret it for themselves. So my mind goes immediately to like government testing. I don't know for what purpose necessarily. I haven't thought that deeply into why the tethered were created, but I could only imagine that it's to do the things that the people above maybe don't want to do. Like that's kind of my interpretation of it.
That's so interesting. I didn't know I was allowed to let my brain go there.
Yeah.
My brain unfortunately went to, I think it's called The Island with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson, where it's you have a second one in case you need new parts.
Yeah.
But you the one with the parts is also a human.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Ooh,
so like
spooky.
You have a harvest body.
Through some more flashbacks, Red explains how her and Addie came together. And she says, God brought us together that night.
So I love this scene because it's this really cute scene where it's the two little Addies and they quote unquote switch shirts. One puts the Thriller shirt, they switched the Thriller shirt, and my twin brother and I used to think that it was that simple.
To switch places?
To switch places. We had the same soccer jersey.
Cute.
Yeah, so we would wear the same soccer jersey and be like, totally fooling him.
Oh my God, that reminds me of the movie Motocrossed. She like takes place as like a motocross rider for her brother.
Oh, I know.
Or also, she's a man.
Oh, I know. I was this close. Motocross specifically. I was like, I could cut my hair. I was at the age where I was like, doesn't matter.
But me and Sam both don't ride motorcycles.
That's true. That's true. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Red then says that she was chosen by the tethered to deliver them from their misery and that she started planning this takeover kind of a long time ago. And she explains that the Hands Across America inspired her to make a very big statement. Hence why they're kind of all uprising now and sort of reviving this Hands Across America thing from 86.
So it's kind of tying it back to her memory, too. Unfortunate.
She says, our time is now. And then Red, in this moment, I love it. She has those, what do you call those? Like a paper chain where you like cut it and it's all chained together. And she has two little bodies that are red and she pulls them together and it's like pulls them apart, and it's so symbolic of just like us coming untethered essentially. Also, I read something that tethered, it kind of means, actually going back to us talking about Peter Pan earlier and his shadow, and like, you know, there's that part where he has to literally like nail his shadow to him to stay with him. Being tethered, it's also like another way to talk about being like chained or being on a leash or a prisoner. Exactly. It all just comes back around to this. These people don't have their own autonomy.
We're talking about autonomy a lot these days.
I know, we really
so
are.
Important.
We really are. Red and Adelaide then engage in this like beautifully choreographed fight, kind of resembling a dance performance. And while it's happening, there are flashbacks to both of their ballet days, both above and below. And I Got Five on It is playing again, but in this wonderful like classical score. It's so fucking cool.
It really is such a beautiful scene of them dancing and fighting. Same, right? Dancing and fighting. But it goes back to what you do up top is mimicking down below, like your shadow. So regardless of Red wanting to dance or not, she had to because Addie wanted to.
Addie chose that for her.
Addie chose that for her. Talk about resentment.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah.
She has a lot of resentment towards Red. I would.
Yeah, I mean, and it's such a cool scene too with them cutting back and forth between the two ballerinas. They're both wearing the same exact outfit. It's not like Red has a lesser outfit. They're both wearing tutus, this beautiful little pink ballerina outfit. But we get one where it's like on a stage. One ballerina is in a recital, and then the red down below, like she's dancing just in like the halls.
I don't think we have mentioned this, but throughout the time that we get into this quote unquote underground, we see these awesome examples of the two sides mimicking each other. Like we'll see something up top, really pretty, like two really pretty teenagers, I don't know, having a smoke because it's chic. Get over it. And then down below, it's two teenagers who look rough, who are also smoking, but it's the juxtaposition of that version.
The juxtaposition.
I said it so nicely.
You did.
So we get a lot of that down in this little tunnel system. So we're seeing that with Red and Addie now. It's just it's just this really beautiful thing in this movie that doesn't get a lot of attention because there's so much going on, but it's mimicking everywhere. Just there's so much to catch.
Yeah. It kind of seems like Red is going to like win this fight, but out of nowhere, Adelaide kind of gets the upper hand and she stabs Red with this fire poker that she's been carrying around with her. And as Red starts to die, she kind of like leans against a bunk bed, I believe. And she starts whistling, and it just brings you back to like that moment when they were kids. And then Adelaide, she takes I think it's her handcuffs that she still like has on her wrists, and she chokes the shit out of Red and like finally ends it.
It makes it sadder than figuring out the ending. You know what I mean? Because we're seeing this person that we think is who we want to win choking the person we want to lose. But is that the case? We don't know.
But do we want there to be a winner and a loser?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but this was, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but as she's choking Red at the end, she's making these like grunting sounds that sort of sound like the tethered. And that like really, knowing where we're going in just a second, like that really got me thinking like, oh, there are just these little breadcrumbs all along about Adelaide's her past. So Adelaide then rescues Jason after finding him in a locker, and he kind of witnessed like that whole thing, I believe. And she assures him, she says everything is going to go back to normal. Then as the fam like reunites and they take off together in the ambulance, Adelaide remembers what really happened. The real Adelaide was actually dragged underground as a child and then handcuffed to a bed down there. And the girl that we have followed, the woman that we have followed throughout this entire movie, is actually the former tethered Red. And Red was the original Adelaide all along. I know that's really confusing if you haven't seen this, but essentially this woman that we have been cheering for, she actually was a tethered child.
She duped the real one.
Mm-hmm. And she went ahead and lived her life. And this switch explains so much. It explains like why Adelaide had a lot of silence as a kid and had to be brought, to the psychiatrist. It wasn't just
why she can't be on beat.
Yeah, she can't be on beat. She also like has like really crazy kind of survival skills, and she's like slightly animalistic. Like I said, when she was choking Red, she was giving those like grunts. And you brought up too when she says, sorry, sometimes I can't speak.
I have trouble talking.
And that's what it was.
Again, it was made to sound like I'm shy, but no, she can't speak.
There's a double meaning. And Jason looks at his mom knowingly. Like he has figured out, because again, that little motherfucker's smart. We've talked about this. Like he's the smartest guy in this movie. And Adelaide just kind of smiles like uneasily. Basically, I was about to have to reap what I sowed, but then I got out of it again.
Ooh, that's a fun way
of
looking at it.
Like, right?
Oh, I'm good again. I'm cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, and I personally feel like Jason figured out the truth. Did you feel like he figured it out?
Yeah, but I can't decide. I think he knows the truth, definitely. I can't decide how he feels about knowing the truth.
Did you see this twist coming, or were you completely caught off guard?
100% saw it coming.
Really?
Yes, okay. And I can't decipher whether it's because I had knowledge of it from, again, I just watched this movie yesterday.
Just you're like, yeah, maybe you just had knowledge of it.
Pop culture, media, like whatever. I don't know if there was influence, but, or the running joke of my family not knowing anything about it and like, oh, we've always known it. So I can't tell what the truth is.
Yeah.
But that being said, knowing what it was at some base level in my soul, they said something in the first 5 minutes, like the dialogue said something, and I was like, oh, that's right. She is the one that's supposed to be underground. Got it.
You clocked it.
Clocked it. Yes.
They do make the very, very beginning kind of vague as to what happens. Like we just see Adelaide's little eyes light up and then we cut to like her as an adult, so we don't get that full story, obviously, until now.
What did you think? Because you saw it a long time ago.
I can't remember, but I do think that I didn't see the twist coming. I think that I was like, okay, cool. She won. Great. And then I was like, oh, fuck.
Well, that's sad for me because I love that kind of ending.
Yeah.
I love Ghost Ship.
And I do think if I remember correctly, I do think I started to put it together towards the end because there's just more and more signs that pop up. And maybe subconsciously my brain was already putting it together. But like, I was like, oh shit, I don't know how this makes me feel about Adelaide now, knowing that she took above ground little Adelaide back when they were girls. But then again, it goes back to that topic of like, well, who deserves to live above ground and who doesn't?
Well, who deserves exactly.
It's double side of the coin.
Exactly. It's kind of like what we talked about in The Purge too, is who decides who gets to live or die.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So our final scene here is an overhead shot showing the number on the ambulance is 1111.
We should get tattoos right after this.
We should. We then see thousands of tethered holding hands across the landscape, and they're fully recreating the Hands Across America campaign from 1986. And this image just fulfills Red's kind of lifelong mission. Even though she is now not here to see it, it still has like come to fruition. And the surviving Wilson family, they just drive into like an uncertain future, and the movie ends without answering every question, but it does leave us as the audience definitely debating like what was literal and what was symbolic. What was your opinion on the theme of the quote unquote like shadow self?
I think it's just a perfect representation of how real life really is. As somebody who feels like a different person multiple times a day, I get it. We are we're not just one thing.
And like you and I talked too about like dimensions and how there might be a version of me who isn't scared of roller coasters in another dimension.
Honestly, that's a whole different subject we can go down. I journal every day to whatever self decides to come up. You have different selves within you, and it just depends on which situation needs you at that time.
I like what you said though about how there are different sides of you like all the time, because Jordan Peele actually said, quote, "We are our own worst enemy, not just as individuals, but more importantly as a group, as a family, as a society, as a country, as a world. We are afraid of the shadowy, mysterious other that's going to come and kill us and take our jobs and do whatever. But what we're really afraid of is the thing that we're suppressing, which is our sin, our guilt, our contribution to our own demise. No one's taking responsibility for where we're at. Owning up and blaming ourselves for our part in the problems of the world is something I'm not seeing."
I get that. I think he has a really odd way of getting his messages across, but I think his messages are good and
they like really make you think inward, like reflect.
Yeah. His just delivery is very strange through the beautiful art of movies and very strange storytelling, but it resonates with me a lot. Feeling like I have a shadow person. I talk to my shadow person, my shadow people.
Same. And even though in this variation of the film, it's like the tethered, they are trying to do something bad to the Wilson family, but it's like, are they inherently bad or are they not? You know,
there are parts of me that I know aren't evil, but
she's a bad girl.
Bad. She is not helping the other ones out. That's for sure.
And I think it does force that conversation of just looking inward and owning up to who you are as a person and loving maybe every part of yourself and forgiving yourself for certain things if you are holding on to something. I mean, I think this film also has like a lot of just deep-seated symbolism about trauma.
Absolutely.
And how you hold on to it and how it manifests in different ways in your life.
Even physically.
Totally.
Quite literally physically.
Quite literally.
I can say that I feel stress in my body. And in this movie, it manifested into a different person because sometimes I literally feel like the person inside of me that holds my stress controls the rest of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, she has the most power. And clearly they do in this movie too.
Yeah. So what were your final thoughts?
Honestly, I'm just really glad that we sat down and watched this because for years I was like, yeah, whatever, it's another Get Out. And it really is a different movie. And I think Jordan Peele, I don't see eye to eye with his storytelling or
the way he executes it?
Yeah, his style necessarily, but I respect it so much and I can absolutely appreciate its importance in our lifetime, in anybody's lifetime of cinematic history. He's telling stories in a really fun way. It's a creative way and it's getting people to talk about it. So I enjoyed the shit out of it. I don't think it was my favorite. I think I liked Get Out more, but I definitely enjoyed this movie. It was enjoyable to watch. What are your final thoughts?
I love this film. I love Get Out. I think I'm just a big fan of everything that Jordan Peele creates in the horror space. I love that he's not afraid to have these conversations that are societal. They're hot topics, right? And they're very relevant to right now, too. And something I also just love about this movie that's completely separate from what it is about is I love seeing like an entirely Black main cast get a budget and a storyline that they deserve. And we're seeing that a lot more and more. And Jordan Peele has helped pave the way for a lot of that, right?
I think he's a pioneer in it.
No, he totally is. And it's just, you know, and I also think of like other directors like Ryan Coogler who are doing the same thing with like Sinners and stuff. And I just love that. As someone that wants to see more diversity in horror, I'm just so happy to see they're getting the opportunities and the resources that they deserve. And so like that's totally separate from like the story, but I just like really love that. Something else that I want to touch on just real quick too before we like round everything out is just we've mentioned duality a few times in this film, with that being the overall theme of this movie. We have talked about it amongst ourselves. We've also heard Jordan Peele. He has said that too. It's a huge theme in this film. And like, it's so crazy to me because when you like dive really deep into it, it's just the case that by forgetting about those in worse off positions than ourselves, do we become the monsters?
Literally, yes. But like, what do?
We have to remember those people.
Yeah.
We need to always remember that there are people that are worse off than us.
Yeah.
And we do. You and we're very good at that, but not everyone is. And I think that's part of like having those discussions with people. It's important. And that's what this movie is. It's social commentary. He wants people to talk about what this meant, you know, and how it like affected their lives.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying is Jordan Peele, yes, even as somebody who doesn't like his style, I like his content because
you like the message.
Yeah, because like look at the content I do like. Leprechaun, Fright Night. That's for like comfortable times.
Yeah.
The horror that I come to for lessons and tough shit is like this stuff.
Yeah.
I go to those comforting ones for comfort.
To be fun.
Yeah. Horror is so diverse. It just like anything in life, you can go to it for lessons, comfort, love, energy, anything. And it's all there for you. You just have to unpack it.
That's so true. It's like one of those genres that it has so many subgenres of every single emotion, every feeling, every topic, you know, like timely topics, societal, you know, discussions, all of that stuff. It's just like so cool how it can really touch on like everything.
It's one of those movies where, yes, Jordan Peele wrote this and it's kind of about capitalism, right? You could tell me it's about anything really. And I'd be like, yes. You could tell me it's about a broken marriage. Yes.
It's kind of up to your interpretation.
Up to your a broken family. Yes. It's about friendship. Yes. Totally get it. It's about your relationship with addiction. Totally get it. It's your relationship with anxiety. Totally get it. It's one of those things that just brings up the willingness to get uncomfortable. You know,
yes.
I go into a Jordan Peele movie knowing I'm not going to feel comfortable after.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I don't go being like, I'm going to walk away feeling full. You know, some movies I'm like, I feel so full. No, I walk away from a Jordan Peele movie feeling slightly abused, but my mind is open.
Yeah, someone has shook you and said, pay attention.
Shook me real hard.
Okay, you also mentioned piggybacking off on what you said too, like I think this truly is like one of the most rewarding modern horror films to revisit. The fact that I've seen it so many times since it's come out, like every single time I come away with a deeper thought process and I am noticing more things, and I love discussing it with you and hearing what your thoughts were. Even you and I were discussing it a little bit before this episode and we were like, wait, we need to like save it because we had opposite opinions. And like, I love hearing, especially for Jordan Peele films, like what people think about it. And I think that's part of the joy of watching his films.
And talking it out changed my mind on some stuff.
Yeah, like you were like, oh, I didn't see it in that way. Same.
We like worked through something.
We did.
See, it's about whatever you want.
Okay, it is a therapy podcast.
Yeah. Talking about what we think about the tethered and that the story behind them, Jordan Peele has openly said that he left the interpretation about the tethered open to the viewer just because you don't want to tie down meaning, just like an artist doesn't want to reveal what a song's about necessarily. You don't want to assign meaning to something. Yeah. You let the viewer take that for themselves.
Definitely.
Do you like the open-endedness of all of it?
I do. And I think like I like that Jordan Peele doesn't just directly tell us how the tethered originated, because I think the fear there is that like once we know, are we going to feel they're just automatically the villain, you know? Or if we find out that they're like clones or that they're government created or what have you, it almost takes away the possibility of them being this humanistic thing. Or they are humans, you know, I guess they do talk about that in the film, but it's like, I don't know. I kind of like it being vague because it almost makes me like root for them a little bit more. And it goes back to that theme of duality. It's like, you know, we can't necessarily say that they're the monsters or are we the monsters.
And again, on duality, I can't tell if I like the vagueness or I don't.
There you go.
Because I like being able to make my own assumptions. But on the flip side, or I like to, not assumptions necessarily, I create. I like to be able to world build if I want to.
Yeah.
However, I also like being led down a path.
All right, guys. Well, that was us from 2019. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. If you want some bonus content, please come and join our Spooky Chicks social club over on Patreon. Subscribe and please rate us 5 stars wherever it is that you listen. It's a really, really great way to support our podcast. But you guys know that the best way to support us is just by sharing our show with another friend who loves horror. And Allison, tethered or untethered, would you like to close us out?
Tethered me would like to. Make a wish at 11:11. We got 5 on it. And stay spooky fuckers.